Today I thought I would show you some of our drainage issues. We just had a big rain overnight. Actually, it was yesterday evening sometime. We weren't here. We were working down in southern Indiana on some tornado damage, trying to help with some cleanup on some tornado damage. We'll show you that in an episode pretty soon. But when we came home, our entire yard was flooded, so I thought I would show you that today. It's actually gone down a good bit. The pond's not within its banks. Looks like we still have a hump right here on the edge of our property line. If I get that down a little bit, might be able to drain it a little bit more out towards the neighbor's field there. Now my father-in-law and I worked a little bit. We were bringing this level up. Took some of the dirt from the other end of the pond that we had dug out last fall and carried it down here with Johnny 5, and then leveled both that end and this end a little bit with the Ventrac. Actually, we didn't do much on this end. When we did that, we thought we had the level high enough at the other end there's no way it would flood. Well, it did. Let's go out and see if this riser is actually draining. Looks like it's got all the pond algae around it, so it may not be. It must be draining in there. I see the algae going toward it. Several of you keep saying, well, you need to dig a deeper pond. Yeah. Okay. What's that going to help? Yeah. If you look off in the distance up there, you can see the propane tank. The water level last night when we came home was right at the concrete on the propane tank. So in other words, the propane tank sits on a little bit of a concrete foundation. The water level was even with that. So it's down a foot or so, would be my estimate from where it was last night when we came home. It's after dark, so we couldn't show you then. Maybe this is a good view of our yard for those that are saying, why didn't you stripe your yard? It's a shame to have that beautiful yard not striped. I could just tell you that I did stripe it this time, right? How would you know? This piece of tile here came out of our riser. It's floated all the way over here. I got it out of there yesterday afternoon, I think. Looks like I need to lower this right here a little bit. I could probably lower this water level a little bit by doing that. I could probably even do some good with a shovel there. A shovel! Heresy! I never use a shovel, but I can't get anything else out here right now while it's wet. As you can see, it goes all the way up through there, the full length of the pond. We just don't have a lot of slope on the property. And this is really the best way for surface water to get out here. And it looks like there's at least an inch or two of fall to right out there. So I need to take this down just a little bit. Even an inch or two would uncover a lot more surface area of the yard. You know, my concern is really not the yard as much as it is the house and the septic system. And I just want to make sure that we can keep this water level as low as possible, or get it as low as possible, as quick as possible, so that our septic doesn't back up. We've got some big blue herons or something that stay around here a lot, and I think they're hunting those frogs. Yeah, there's frogs all over this. If we keep watching here, I'll probably get a bunch more to jump. If I don't fall. Like I said, I had taken Vinny, and from here on around the end of the pond, I had leveled all that out. Guess it was hard for me to visualize. I had no idea that the pond would get that high to get over the top of what I had leveled. I had it looking really good too. Kind of disappointed now. So you might ask, what's my next plan? How are we gonna attack the problem from here? Well, I think my next plan is to dip the pond out more and take that material that I've dipped out and spread out across here so that we can get all of the property up to that level that you see just above the water line, at least most of it. I believe if we do that, we can get a lot of this water to drain off onto the neighbor's property to get on down to the county drain. We'll still leave that riser in place, but you know, just try to get it raised high enough that the water just doesn't stand here for a long time. Up there in the distance you can see the culvert that comes across from across the road. We actually get all the water from that road ditch on the other side of the road, so all those houses there, all the water from those houses and well behind them comes to that road ditch, comes right down to this culvert and comes across. Right now it comes across into our yard, flows around this big ugly hump of dirt that way into the pond. When it's raining really hard, you can actually see a strip maybe 15 feet wide where water is running into the pond. That's how aggressively it runs in. Now the good news is the culvert up here is higher in elevation than the drain, the ditch off my property. We can tell that because there's not water standing right up around it. I mean, yeah, there may be a little where it's not draining perfectly off this way, but it's significantly higher. And the GPS elevation survey that the county surveyor did for us verified that as well. I think we have close to 2 feet between there and there. So my intent is to take the water from that culvert, come around this way. I don't know if I'll go all the way, you know, try to use the road ditch itself, or if I'll just broaden that and try to keep there. And then a ditch right along the edge of my property on my side of the property line, draining into there. That's my plan of attack. And hopefully that will keep that water out of the pond. If it can drain directly out, that would work a lot better. Another approach, albeit more costly, would be to actually put that in a pipe. Keep that water inside a pipe and bring it somewhere over here and drain the pipe to daylight over here. But I think it would be cheaper to drain it on the surface. I just don't know if it would be more painful or not. I suppose if I put it in pipe, I wouldn't have to worry about it as much. I'm just not sure I have enough elevation change to be able to do that. Well, you got to see our drainage issues firsthand. Like I said, it was at least 6 inches higher last night after dark when we got home. That covered a lot more of the property. It covered over to within 15 or 20 feet of the driveway last night when we got home. I hope you enjoyed this. Again, it's just a challenge for us to work through, and we'll get it figured out. I think we've got some options now, and that's all it takes. This area is a swampy area in general, not just this property, but everyone in the area has to really work hard to get drainage to work. There's just not a lot of slope anywhere, and there are county drains. The county has done a lot of effort to make things drain, and so therefore there is a way to make this work. It's just going to be a little bit difficult. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on Tractor Time with Tim.